Hey there. Hey there, guy. I'm back. It's been a while, but I think you know what time it is. It's time for a running on empty food review. Yeah, but instead of food, it's anime. So, Banana Fish. Go. Banana Fish is a 24-episode action crime anime about a young New York gangster named Ash and his fight against Papa Goldzino, a mob boss, over a drug called Banana Fish.
Guys, that's also the name of the show. Isn't that crazy?
But that's not really what the show is about. It's really about the short-lived friendship between Ash and a Japanese boy named Eiji. And let me tell you folks, this program is gosh darn poppin' by gum. Starting off with art and animation, I'm not doing my previous statement any justice because this is my only real issue with the show. The art style is this retro Cowboy Bebop-esque style, similar to that of Megalobox. And I have no problem with this. I think it fits like a glove with the theme of the show. The issue is twofold. 1. At points, the art is just plain lazy. Sometimes you'll see characters in the foreground who look like they were only half drawn, and it's very obvious that they spend almost no time on any characters in the background. And 2. The animation is just bad. The frame rate is super low, and most motions outside of the action scenes, and even in some of the action scenes, look clunky, choppy, and just like shit. But other than these more technical or budgeting issues, this is a daggarn home run. First off, this show has a myriad of memorable characters in Ash, Eiji, Max, Shorter, Yutlung, Goldzine, Sing, Kane, Jessica, and my personal favorite, Blanca. All of these different characters who aren't necessarily main characters have a human-like amount of depth to them.
Except Kane, but he's just dope, so I don't really fucking care.
Each character is so unique not only in their backstories, but in the way they act, and it's incredible how two characters can be similar, but so easily distinguishable. Another thing is the humor. This show isn't a comedy, so the episodes aren't littered with jokes, but when a joke is written in, it's a fucking banger, boys! There were some scenes where I actually had to pause and get my laughter out because of some stupid-ass joke that was thrown into a place that it didn't belong. And of course, there are also plenty of dope-ass action scenes. And when I say plenty, I mean fucking plenty. There are usually at least 3 every episode, and each is different from the last. The scene where Ash single-handedly takes out an entire train of guys was fucking dope, right? And then right after that, like directly after that, he has a one-on-one knife fight to the death on top of a bridge on the train tracks. This fucking mad laugh. Another grade A feature about this show is its pacing. When I think about it, this show flies through subplots, but it doesn't feel like you're rushing or anything. So what you get is this action-packed series of events that run through quickly without leaving the watcher behind, and this sucks you into the show, and before you know it, you've watched 3 episodes in what feels like the time span of 1, but contain enough plot that a lesser show could squeeze 7 episodes out of it. One thing I didn't particularly notice that much was the soundtrack, aside from the horrendous OP tracks, of course. And I don't think it was because the soundtrack was bad, but rather that it wasn't so fantastic that I stopped paying attention to what's on screen to appreciate it. But in a similar fashion to Devilman Crybaby, I think that it's mainly because what was on screen was so riveting that I didn't have the capacity to notice the quality of the music, but only to notice that music was playing. All I will say is that the music was never bad enough to distract me from the show, and that it perfectly blends in with the scene, which makes the watching experience that much better. The ending. God damn! I'm not even going to say anything except the ending is one of the best endings to an anime I've ever watched. Overall, I love this show. I mean, it's just so goddamn good, and has you constantly on the edge of your seat. It's similar to the feeling of watching Death Note, if you know what that's like, but unfortunately the lazy production does bump it down a notch. As we know from examples like One Punch Man, art and animation are crucial to the enjoyability of a show. And even though this show has the potential to be a 10, I cannot simply ignore this crucial detail, which ironically the show's art lacks, to give it that 10. I gave Mob Psycho a 10 because not only was its plot incredible, but its art direction, and animation were stunning. So it pains me to do this, but Banana Fish gets a 9 out of 10. This show is a must-watch, which reminds me that the only place I found to watch this show was Amazon Prime Video, so just a heads up. But anywho, thank you for watching, and have an utterly orgasmic day.